So I've been talking about the quirky, often dysfunctional family of Abraham and how it came to be that God should use this particular and imperfect family through whom to bring blessing and redemption to the world. Their stories often leave us scratching our heads, wondering how these stories actually convey God's grace and blessing. Today's story is an excellent example. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas. Yesterday we talked about the story of Jacob and Esau and how Jacob effectively stole his firstborn twin brother's birthright and his blessing. The story ended with his mother, Rebekah, wisely realizing that Esau would likely kill Jacob for what he had done. So she hatched a plan to get him proverbially out of Dodge. She and Isaac sent him back to their ancestral home in Haran in order to find a wife for him from among their own people, rather than him marry one of the local Canaanite or Hittite women. In today's story, Jacob has now arrived in Haran, and he meets his uncle Laban, Rebekah's brother. Laban welcomes him into his household, and after a month has gone by, has one of those crucial conversations that sets action in motion. That's where we pick up the story. Then Laban said to Jacob, "Because you are my kinsman, should you therefore serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall your wages be?" Now, Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah's eyes were lovely, and Rachel was graceful and beautiful. Jacob loved Rachel, so he said, "I will serve you 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel." Laban said, "It is better that I should give her to you than that I should give her to any other man. Stay with me." So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed to him but a few days because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife that I may go in to her, for my time is completed." So Laban gathered together all the people of the place and made a feast. But in the evening he took his daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob, and he went in to her. Laban gave his maid Zilpah to his daughter Leah to be her maid. When morning came, it was Leah. And Jacob said to Laban, "What is this you have done to me? Did I not serve with you for Rachel? Why then have you deceived me?" Laban said, "This is not done in our country, giving the younger before the firstborn. Complete the week of this one, and we will give you the other also in return for serving me another 7 years." Jacob did so and completed her week. Then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel as a wife. Laban gave his maid Bilhah to serve his daughter Rachel to be her maid. So Jacob went in to Rachel also, and he loved Rachel more than Leah. He served Laban for another 7 years. Well, that's a mess, isn't it? In the first place, Jacob, the one who tricked his brother out of his birthright and tricked their father into giving him the blessing and inheritance that by right belonged to Esau, Jacob the trickster has met his match in his uncle Laban, who tricks the trickster into marrying his older daughter rather than the younger one. Jacob's indignation at Laban, "What is this that you have done to me?" is fairly dripping with irony. At least Laban didn't cheat him out of his birthright and blessing. The worst that can be said is that he tricked Jacob into marrying both of his daughters. So by now, this portion of the story is complete. Jacob has been away from home for 14 years and now has 2 wives, something fairly common in that day and time. But there's just one little problem. His 2 wives are sisters. Does anyone see a problem coming? If you said yes, go to the head of the class. Trouble is indeed brewing, and it begins with a bitter rivalry between Leah and Rachel. That's where we'll pick up the story tomorrow. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.